In this video, we will learn about the topic Introduction to Toxicology. This video is divided into 6 parts. Step 1, Introduction. In this, we will learn about what the word toxicology stands for. Step 2, we will learn about history of toxicology. How this branch of toxicology evolved in due course of time. In step third, we'll learn about medico-legal importance of poisoning. What are the laws related in the cases of poisoning? In step 4, we'll learn about classification of poison. How the poisons are classified and what is the mode of classification of the poison. In step 5, we learn about factors action on poisoning, or we can say it the factors affecting the causes of poisoning. In the last step, we learn about recognition of poisoning in living. So let's begin. First, introduction. What is toxicology? This toxicology word is made up of two parts. The first part is toxic. It is a Greek word derived from toxicon, meaning poison. The second word is logy, that means to study. So the science dealing with action, properties, toxicology, fatal dose, detection, elimination, treatment, and autopsy finding in dead. The autopsy finding on the dead in relation to the poisonous substance is known as toxicology. This toxicology was originally an empirical science and did not evolve into volumetric science until the emergence of chemistry and analytical science. Actually, this science was better known from the ancient time, but with the due course of time, when the other fields like biochemistry, analytical science, chemistry, these science evolved, we get the scientific evaluation and the scientific basis of toxicology. So this is a very young branch, and it is moving on to the next slide, that is history of toxicology. In ancient times, basically the prehistory times, poisonous plant and animal were recognized and their extract used for hunting or in warfare. Around 1500 before Christ, that is BC, the written record indicates that hemlock, opium, arrow poison, and certain metal were used to poison enemy or for state execution. Basically, in ancient time, the knowledge of toxins were used in warfare to protect their by the king to protect his or her kingdom. In the post classical history, that is in year 1198 AD, that is after death, with time, people began to make the connection between exposure to a specific substance and illness or death. In 1198, most Manimodes wrote what may be the first collection of writing on toxicology under the name The Treatise on Poison and Their Antidotes. In 16th century, Pas- In 16th century, Paracelsus determined that specific chemicals were actually responsible for toxicity of the plants or animal poison. Documented that the body responds to those chemicals dependent upon the dose received. In later in the video, we'll know what are the effect of dose on poisoning. Higher the dose, higher are the toxic symptom. The study reveals that small amount of substance might be harmful, beneficial, whether large dose could be toxic. The all studies were shown by the Paracelsus. This is also known as drug response relationship, a major concept in toxicology. Paracelsus has wrote, all substances are poisons, there is none which is not a poison. The right dose differentiate a poison and a remedy. This is a very key point to understand what all things are toxins and what all things are not toxins. In the modern history, in the modern times, Orifila, the founder of toxicology in 19th century, a Spanish physician who is often referred as father of toxicology, described a systematic correlation between chemical and biological properties of poisons of the time. That means he have established he has established the relation between he has established a relation between the biochemical properties of a poison in a scientific way. So he is also referred as founder of toxicology. Oriphilia demonstrate the effect of poison on specific organs by analyzing autopsy material for poison and tissue damage associated with them. In modern times, that is latestly in 20th and 21st century, marked by great advancement in level of understanding of toxicology. The DNA and various biochemical then maintain body functions has been discovered. Our level of knowledge of toxic effect on organs and cells has expanded to the molecular level. Virtually all toxic effects are recognized as being caused by changes in specific cellular molecules and biochemicals. See, now we have established the relation between the toxin and at the level of molecular level, so that we have documented with the scientific language, and we have all the proofs that this work like this. So the slowly and gradually evolution of toxicology happens. The next part is medico-legal importance of poisoning. what are what is the medico-legal importance? मतलब in the eyes of law, what is the importance of poison? The law does not make any difference between medicine and a poison. There is no difference between what is considered to be as medicine and what is considered to be as poison. It is the initiate with which it is given to someone. Means if it is given to cure someone or it is given for a homicidal purpose, that determines what is a medicine and what is a poison. Like in Indian Penal Code IPC section 284 states that whoever cause hurt or injury with rash or negligent conduct will respect to poisoning substance shall be punished with imprisonment up to 6 months with or without fine up to 10,000. In section 328 of IPC, it deals with the administration of any poison, stupefying, or intoxicant agent with the intention to cause hurt and facilitate the commission of an offense. The punishment is imprisonment up to 10 years and also fine. Many other rules and regulations are there as per the Narcotic and Psychotropic Drug Act 1985. So, in the eyes of law, the nature or the tendency by which a person intend to give a medicine, either it is a medicine he is giving, but due to professional negligence or whatever may be the cause is, in a rash or a negligence, if someone has given even though a medicine, it causes negative effect on a person, that should be considered a poisoning and it should be punished under the section 284. So it is very important. Now we move on to the classification of poison. How the classification of poison has been done? So on the mode of action, how does a poison work? We have classified these poisons. We have classified poisons into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 part we have classified. We have classified into 6 part. First is corrosive, next is irritant, next is neurotic, then cardiac, then asphyxiant and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is further divided into 5 parts: agrochemical, drug of dependence, petroleum product, food poisoning, and others. Now we'll one by one we'll see how it is classified. Corrosive poison. Those corrosive poison. What are corrosive poison? Those poisons which produce inflammation and ulceration of the tissue. Inflammation along with the ulceration of the tissue. Those poison, those have this effect are classified under corrosive poison. The corrosive poison is further divided into three parts: strong acid, strong alkali, and metallic salt. Strong acids are further divided into two types: mineral or inorganic acid and organic acid. Like for example, carbolic acid is a organic acid and H2SO4 sulfuric acid is an inorganic acid. Strong alkali like caustic soda, we have a best example of caustic soda. That is a strong alkali. It is a corrosive and it acts as a poison, so it is categorized under corrosive poison. And metallic salts like zinc chloride. Moving on to next, irritant poison. Those poison which produces irritation of the tissue are known as irritant poison. That they are also further classified into three: inorganic, organic, and mechanical. Inorganic consists of metallic and non-metallic. Examples of metallic are like iron poisoning. In iron poisoning, that is a metal, so it is a metallic poisoning. A non-metal like phosphorus, the phosphorus poisoning, it is an inorganic irritant poison. Organic irritant poison are classified into two: plant poison and animal poison. Like for example, crotum is a plant poison and snake bite is an animal poison. And mechanical is like example powdered glass. Okay, moving on to next, neurotic. These are those which act mainly on the CNS through some have local irritation action. Though some have local irritation action, but basically they work directly on the central nervous system. These are also classified into through cerebral, spinal, and peripheral. Those act on the cerebral, मतलब कि means the brain part. These are further classified into three: opioids, anabolics, and deliberants. Anabolics and deliberant. Next is spinal and peripheral. Now, the most important part of this video is factors affecting. Moving on to the next point, the factors affecting poisoning. In this, we have firstly the quantity or the dose. Definitely, the quantity is the most important point. We cannot say any substance as poison. The whole of the effect depends upon the quantity or the dose. More the quantity, more severe will be the toxic effect. Apparently, non-toxic chemical can be toxic and highly toxic chemical can be life-saving depending upon the dose. So we understand the dose is the most important criteria for some substance to be a poison. Next is the form of poison. The poison act most rapidly in gaseous or vapor form. Rather than the solid form, it act more rapidly in gases or vapor form. When the combination of chemical is not suitable, is more suitable, then more is the action. Example, if we take two substances and we combine it into such a form that it is a highly toxic element. Singly, alag alag, singly, they are not that much toxic, but when combined in the two, we get a very toxic substance. The third point is alteration of action or efficacy when mixed with inert substance. Like we take some reactive substance and we mix it with the inert substance, the alteration in action occur. This is a very deadly combination, and the poison have more toxic effect than its real form. So the form of the poison is very important. Also, the mode of administration is also important. In this, inhalation of gases of vapor form is more dangerous than intravenous form. The inhalation of the gases of vapor is more dangerous than in IV injections, and IV injections are more dangerous than intramuscular injection. Okay, you are getting the point. The subcutaneous and the intradermal injection are more toxic or give more toxic effect than application on the wound. Like we have a wound, we apply some ointment that is having toxic properties. Then, if we that is more dangerous than application to the serous surface. Application to the serous surface. Then application to the serous surface is more toxic than ingestion, and introduction to the natural orifices like anus and nasal septum and the canal, ear canal, that is more that is less have less tendency to get toxins in the body than applying on the serous surface, and the sublingual is more toxic than application on the broken skin. So this is the comparison made between the forms in which we take the toxins and which is more dangerous than other. Every form is dangerous, but which is more dangerous than the other. Moving on to next slide, the factor affecting poisoning is the condition of the patient. The condition of the patient is the first and the foremost thing to be taken in the consideration. Like we have to consider the age, the state of health, the sleep, the intoxication of the body, the tolerance of the body, the state of stomach. Like in the state of stomach, if it has been ingested empty stomach or with a full stomach. Like for example, if someone is having alcohol on empty stomach, will have more effect of alcoholism than taking it on the full stomach, because the rate of absorption of the alcohol will be subsidized or reduced. The cumulative action of the toxin product what we are taking, either it is giving direct effect on ingestion, or it is accumulating in the body and slowly and gradually uh, um, giving the effect. Then the last word is the eighth point here, idiosyncrasy. What is the meaning of idiosyncrasy? This means the natural tendency of the body to fight against toxin. Either a person is having that or not. Like some persons are very reactive to, no, not reactive, susceptible to many of the things. Like if some mosquito has bitten there, so a carbuncle has been appeared, but in some people nothing happened, just a small carbuncle, and it will fade away after 2 or 3 days. And lastly is the route of elimination. The route of elimination is very important because we have taken the toxin, no doubt, but if our body is not able to eliminate the toxin, it will remain longer in the body and it will create more toxic effect. Next is the recognition of poisoning in the living. How we will get to know either a living person is has ingested the poison or not. No single symptom of poison is seen. A group or cluster of symptoms are seen. If suspected poisoning, the following should be noted. Number one, symptoms appear immediately, like if someone had a meal or someone had a food or a drink, the symptoms will appear immediately or within a short period of time. Second, it will be uniform in character and increase the severity with due course of time. Like if someone is having abdomen pain, in previously, in slowly he'll have a slow abdomen pain, and slowly and gradually it will increase and increase and increase. Number third is several person if taken same table, all will suffer similarly with the same symptoms. Like someone has gone to a party or a shadi, they have consumed a specific type of food, and all the person in that shadi will have food poisoning. See, you have heard the cases of food poisoning. So this can be suspected of the poisoning. Food poisoning also comes under types of poisoning. Recognition in the living, like symptoms suggestive of the poisoning. What are the symptoms to be seen that suggestive of the poisoning? Like sudden onset of abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and collapse. Person can even collapse. Unexplained coma, especially in the cases of the children, rapid onset of peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy will see the twisted hand and the twisted band. Like in Hindi we used to say कि इनको fits आ गए हैं. So that will happen. The rapid onset on of a neurological or GIT illness, like someone will have a diarrhea or prominent diarrhea without any cause, he will have a diarrhea. The sudden onset of convulsions, jaundice and hepatocellular failure, oliguria, proteinuria and hematuria, the presence of protein, the presence of blood or less urine. This will these are will be the symptom will be shown. Persistent cyanosis, delirium with dilated pupil. The person is collapsed, he is unconscious, or he or she is in delirium, and when you forcefully open their eyes, you will see dilated pupil. Sometimes you will not see, sometimes you will see. So it depends upon the type and of the poison uh, that has been ingested. Okay. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and study. And thank you.